Dr. Han Jiwoo was having a normal morning at her research facility near the Great Barrier Reef. She sat at her desk, looking through pictures of box jellyfish on her computer screen. The gentle hum of the aquarium tanks filled the air. Everything was peaceful until her office phone rang. "Dr. Han speaking," she answered, expecting another call about her latest research paper. The voice on the other end was not what she expected. "Dr. Han, this is Director Park from the International Science Council. You need to come to the main conference room right now. We have visitors." Something in his voice made Ji-woo sit up straight. She had never heard the usually calm Director Park sound so nervous. When she reached the conference room 5 minutes later, she understood why. Sitting around the large table were 3 beings that were definitely not human. Their skin was a pale blue color, and they had 4 eyes each. They wore what looked like formal suits, but the material seemed to shift colors as they moved. "Ah, Dr. Han," Director Park said, his voice shaking slightly. "Please meet Ambassador Xylith and the representatives from the Galactic Council." The tallest alien stood up and bowed, copying human greeting customs. "Dr. Han Ji-woo, your reputation as Earth's leading expert on marine predators is why we are here today." Ji-woo bowed back, trying to keep her hands from shaking. First contact with aliens was happening in her research facility, and they wanted to talk to her specifically. "The Galactic Council," Ambassador Xylith continued, "is creating a database of the most dangerous predators from all known worlds. Earth is our newest discovery, and we would like to study your planet's apex predators." Ji-woo noticed how the aliens kept looking around the room, as if expecting to see large, dangerous animals. One of them was holding what looked like a tablet, scrolling through pictures of lions, tigers, and bears. "We have reviewed your planet's larger predatory species," another alien said. His name tag read Scientific Officer Mix. "But we find them unremarkable compared to other worlds' hunters. Surely Earth must have more impressive apex predators." Ji-woo felt a small smile form on her face. She thought about the tiny but deadly creature she had been studying just minutes ago in her lab. These aliens were making the same mistake many humans made. Thinking that size determined how dangerous something was. "Actually," she said, picking up a tablet and pulling up an image, "I would like to show you something. We have a creature that might change your understanding of what makes a true apex predator." The aliens leaned forward, probably expecting to see something massive and terrifying. Instead, Ji-woo showed them a picture of what looked like clear jelly floating in water. The alien's 4 eyes blinked in confusion. "This," Ji-woo said with growing confidence, "is Chironex fleckeri, also known as the box jellyfish. And I can prove to you that it's more deadly than any large predator you've seen on Earth so far." Ambassador Xylith looked disappointed. "Dr. Han, we came here to study serious threats, not simple ocean creatures." Ji-woo's smile grew wider. "With all respect, Ambassador, I suggest we move this meeting to my laboratory. I think it's time to show you why size isn't everything when it comes to Earth's deadliest hunters." As they walked to her lab, Ji-woo sent a quick message to her research partner. "Lee Do-hyun, prepare the special containment tank. We're about to give our alien visitors a lesson they won't forget." The aliens followed her, still looking unimpressed. They had no idea they were about to learn why Earth's creatures had earned their place among the stars, not through size or strength, but through millions of years of evolutionary perfection. And the box jellyfish was about to become their first lesson in not judging Earth's predators by their appearance. The laboratory doors slid open with a soft hiss. Dr. Han Ji-woo led the alien visitors into her research space, where the walls were lined with special tanks filled with clear water. The blue-skinned aliens looked around, their 4 eyes moving in different directions to take in everything at once. Dr. Kim Tae-ho was already there, carefully checking the safety systems on a large cylindrical tank in the center of the room. He looked up as the group entered, and his eyes widened at the sight of the aliens. "Tae-ho," Ji-woo said calmly, These are our visitors from the Galactic Council. They're here to learn about Earth's dangerous creatures. Ambassador Xylith stepped forward, still looking unimpressed. Dr. Han, we have studied creatures that can swallow your largest sea vessels whole. How can this small water creature compare? Taiho couldn't help but laugh, which made the aliens turn to him in surprise. I'm sorry, he said, but size isn't everything. Ji-Woo, should we show them the video from last month's study? Ji-Woo nodded and walked to the main computer. The large screen on the wall came to life, showing crystal clear underwater footage. In it, a fish about the size of a human hand swam peacefully. Watch carefully, Ji-Woo said. The aliens moved closer to the screen. A nearly invisible shape drifted into view. Before the aliens could even blink, the fish was caught in the box jellyfish's tentacles. In less than 3 seconds, the fish stopped moving. That was not edited or sped up. Taiho explained. Box jellyfish venom is one of the fastest-acting toxins on our planet. Scientific Officer Mix pulled out his scanning device. Impossible. Our readings showed this creature is mostly water. How can it be so efficient? Ji-Woo walked to one of the smaller tanks and pointed to a box jellyfish floating inside. This single jellyfish has enough venom to kill 60 adult humans in under 3 minutes. They hunt using 24 eyes and can move at speeds of up to 7 kilometers per hour. The alien's attitude began to change. Ambassador Xylith moved closer to the tank, all 4 eyes focused on the graceful creature. 24 eyes, you say? Yes, Ji-Woo continued. And they can see in color. They're also one of the few creatures on Earth that can process images. They have an advanced nervous system that lets them actively hunt their prey, unlike other jellyfish that just drift and wait. Lee Do-hyun entered the lab carrying a tablet with more data. He stopped short when he saw the aliens but quickly recovered and handed the tablet to Ji-Woo. Here's something that might interest you, Ji-Woo said, showing them the screen. This is what happens to living tissue when exposed to box jellyfish venom. Even your advanced healing technology would have trouble stopping this. The aliens watched in silence as the video showed cells breaking down at an incredible speed. Ambassador Xylith's blue skin seemed to pale slightly. And you say these creatures swim freely in your oceans? Asked the third alien, who had been quiet until now. In certain parts, yes, Taiho answered. That's why we study them. Understanding them might help us create better medicines and treatments. Ji-Woo noticed how the aliens had stopped dismissing their work. They were now taking careful notes and making recordings of everything they saw. Ambassador, Ji-Woo said with a small smile, would you like to see our special demonstration? We can show you exactly how the box jellyfish hunts using our simulation tank. The aliens looked at each other, then nodded slowly. They finally understood that they had much to learn about Earth's predators. Sometimes the deadliest hunters weren't the ones with sharp teeth or powerful muscles. Sometimes they were nearly invisible, silent, and more efficient than anything their advanced civilization had ever encountered. The large demonstration tank in the center of the laboratory glowed with soft blue light. Lee Do-hyun checked all the safety systems one final time while Dr. Han Ji-Woo prepared to show their alien visitors something they would never forget. This tank recreates the natural environment where box jellyfish hunt, Ji-Woo explained. She pointed to different parts of the tank. We can control the water temperature, salt levels, and light conditions to match their preferred hunting times. Ambassador Xylith and the other aliens had set up their own equipment around the tank. Their machines hummed softly as they prepared to record everything that would happen. Our scanners are ready, Scientific Officer Mix announced. Though I still find it difficult to believe such a small creature could be as dangerous as you claim. Dr. Kim Taho typed commands into the main computer. Small fish were released into the tank from a separate chamber. They swam in groups, their silver scales catching the light. These fish are similar to what box jellyfish hunt in the wild, Taho explained. Watch what happens when we introduce our predator. Ji-Woo pressed a button, and a section of the tank opened. A single box jellyfish drifted into the main chamber. Its transparent body was barely visible in the water. The aliens leaned forward, all their eyes fixed on the scene before them. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The jellyfish floated seemingly without purpose, its tentacles trailing behind it. The fish swam nearby, apparently unaware of the danger. "Is it broken?" one of the aliens asked. "It's not doing anything." Jellyfish smiled. "Just wait. It's assessing its surroundings with all 24 of its eyes. It can see the fish, track their movements, and..." Before she could finish her sentence, the jellyfish suddenly moved. Its speed surprised even the aliens. In one smooth motion, it positioned itself above a group of fish. Its tentacles, nearly invisible in the water, spread out like a deadly net. The alien machine started beeping rapidly. "These readings cannot be correct," Mick said, checking his equipment. "The neural activity we're detecting. It's making decisions, planning its attack." The demonstration continued as the jellyfish caught its first fish. The effect was immediate. The fish stopped moving almost instantly after touching the tentacles. The other fish scattered, but they couldn't escape the jellyfish's reach. "The venom enters the prey system on contact," Do-hyun explained. He showed them close-up footage on a nearby screen. "The fish's heart stops within seconds. No pain, no struggle. Just quick, efficient hunting." Ambassador Xylith had turned a lighter shade of blue. "And you said this venom would work on any living creature?" "Any creature with a heart and nervous system," Jiwoo confirmed. "The venom attacks multiple systems at once. That's what makes it so effective." The aliens' recording devices were working overtime, capturing every detail of the hunt. They watched in silence as the jellyfish caught several more fish, each time with the same deadly efficiency. "In all our studies of predator species across the galaxy," Ambassador Xylith finally said, "we have never seen anything quite like this. Perhaps we were too focused on size and strength." Taiho nodded. "That's the beauty of Earth's evolution. Sometimes the deadliest creatures are the ones you never see coming." As they watched the jellyfish continue its graceful but lethal dance through the water, Jiwoo prepared for their next demonstration. She knew that what they had shown so far was just the beginning. The aliens still had much to learn about why the box jellyfish had earned its place as one of Earth's most perfect predators. The alien scientists stared at their scanning equipment in disbelief. Their advanced machines had just finished analyzing the box jellyfish's venom, and the results were beyond anything they had expected. "This cannot be correct," Scientific Officer Mick said, checking the readings for the third time. "The molecular structure of this venom is more complex than anything in our database." Dr. Han Jiwoo nodded as she brought up detailed images on the main screen. "The venom contains multiple types of toxins that attack different parts of the body at the same time. It's not just one poison, it's many working together." The laboratory had become very quiet. Even Ambassador Xylith, who had been dismissive earlier, now stood silently watching the data stream across their screens. The box jellyfish floated peacefully in its tank, looking harmless. "Allow me to demonstrate something else," Dr. Kim Taiho said, walking to another set of equipment. He placed a small amount of venom into a testing chamber. "This sample is less than a drop, taken from a single tentacle." The aliens gathered around as Taiho added different types of tissue samples to the chamber. On the screen above, they could see the effect of the venom at a cellular level. The reaction was immediate and dramatic. "As you can see," Jiwoo explained, "the venom doesn't just kill, it breaks down cellular structures completely. This is why it works so quickly. No time for the prey to fight back or escape." Lee Do-hyun added more data to the display. "We found that the venom can affect nearly any creature with a nervous system. The box jellyfish didn't evolve to hunt just one type of prey. It developed a weapon that works on almost anything it touches." Ambassador Xylith's color had changed to an even lighter shade of blue. "In all our studies across 17 different galaxies, we have never encountered a venom this sophisticated. How did such a simple creature develop something so complex? Jaiwu smiled. That's what makes Earth's evolution so special. Our planet's creatures didn't just develop to be bigger or stronger, they became more efficient. The box jellyfish has been perfecting its hunting method for millions of years. The third alien, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. We must revise our entire classification system. We have been measuring danger by the wrong standards. Taiho brought up another screen showing the jellyfish's nervous system. Look at this. Despite being mostly water, they have developed a complex neural network. They can process images, track movement, and make hunting decisions faster than most advanced predators. The alien scientists were now recording everything, their earlier skepticism completely gone. Their machines hummed as they collected data about Earth's most perfectly evolved hunter. Dr. Han, Ambassador Xylith said formally, "We owe you and your team an apology. We came here expecting to find simple creatures, but instead we have discovered something that challenges everything we thought we knew about predator evolution." Jaiwu accepted the apology with a slight bow. "This is just the beginning. Would you like to learn about some of our other small but deadly creatures? We haven't even started discussing our blue-ringed octopus or cone snails yet." The aliens looked at each other, their four eyes widening. They were beginning to understand that Earth's oceans held more deadly surprises than they could have imagined. The box jellyfish was just the first chapter in a much longer story about nature's most efficient killers. Park Min-ji stood before the assembled group in the laboratory's testing chamber. As the facility's head toxicologist, she had spent years studying the box jellyfish's venom. Now she had the chance to share her knowledge with beings from across the galaxy. Today, we will examine exactly how the venom affects different types of cells, Min-ji said, adjusting the settings on the main display screen. The aliens watched closely, their recording devices running continuously. Dr. Han Jiwoo and Dr. Kim Taiho stood nearby, ready to assist. The special containment chamber hummed softly as Min-ji prepared her demonstration. "First, let's look at what happens to heart muscle cells," Min-ji explained. She carefully placed a tissue sample into the testing chamber. On the large screen above, they could see the magnified view of healthy heart cells beating in their solution. With precise movements, Min-ji added one tiny drop of box jellyfish venom to the sample. The effect was immediate. The aliens leaned forward, their four eyes widening as they watched the cells stop beating within seconds. "The venom doesn't just stop the heart," Min-ji continued. "It actually changes the way the cells work. They can never recover, even if we try to save them." Scientific Officer Mix raised one of his blue hands. "But surely your planet has developed defenses against such toxins." Min-ji shook her head. "That's what makes this venom so special. It attacks in so many different ways that creating an antidote is extremely difficult. We can only try to keep the victim alive long enough for their body to break down the toxins naturally." She moved to the next sample, this one containing nerve cells. "Watch what happens to the nervous system when exposed to the venom." The aliens' recording devices beeped rapidly as they documented the venom's devastating effect on the nerve cells. Ambassador Xylith's color had changed to an even lighter shade of blue. "The most impressive part," Min-ji explained, "is how the box jellyfish can control how much venom it releases. It never wastes more than it needs to catch its prey. This level of efficiency is rare even among Earth's most advanced predators." Lee Do-hyun added more data to the main screen, showing comparisons with other venomous creatures. "As you can see, the box jellyfish's venom is unique. It's not just about how deadly it is, it's about how perfectly designed it is for hunting." The aliens were now taking careful notes, their earlier dismissive attitude completely gone. They had come expecting to find simple creatures, but instead they were discovering an elegant and deadly efficiency they had never seen before. "There's something else you should know," Min-ji said, bringing up new data. "Each box jellyfish can regrow its tentacles if they are damaged, and each new tentacle is just as deadly as the original. They are perfect survival machines." Ambassador Xylith turned to address his fellow aliens. We must revise our entire understanding of what makes a superior predator. Perhaps the most dangerous creatures are not the ones that can be seen from space, but the ones that have achieved perfect efficiency. As Minji prepared her next demonstration, she could see the respect in the aliens' eyes. They were finally beginning to understand that Earth's oceans held creatures that had achieved something their advanced civilization had never managed. Perfect biological weapons, evolved over millions of years into deadly precision tools. Choi Sung-min walked quickly through the research facility's corridors. As the head environmental protection officer, he had just received some concerning reports about the alien visitors' activities. He found Dr. Han Ji-woo and the others still in the main laboratory, surrounded by alien scanning equipment. Dr. Han, Sung-min said firmly, we need to talk about the data sharing protocols with our visitors. The aliens turned their 4 eyes toward him as he entered. Ambassador Xylith stepped forward, but Sung-min held up a hand to stop him. Our monitoring systems have detected unauthorized attempts to access our restricted database of venomous marine species, Sung-min explained. His voice was calm but serious. We need to discuss the proper channels for information exchange. Jae-woo looked surprised. She turned to the aliens, who had the grace to look uncomfortable. Their blue skin darkened slightly, showing what might have been embarrassment. Ambassador, Ji-woo said carefully, is this true? Have you been trying to access our secure files? Scientific Officer Mix spoke up first. We meant no harm. The box jellyfish's capabilities are far beyond anything we expected. Our Science Council wanted more detailed information about your other venomous species. Sung-min shook his head. That information is protected for good reasons. Many of these creatures could be dangerous if removed from their natural environments. We have strict rules about sharing such data. The third alien stepped forward. Our civilization has advanced technology. We could help you study these creatures more effectively. Perhaps even help you create better treatments for their venoms. Or create weapons, Sung-min said directly. These toxins could be very dangerous in the wrong hands. Even advanced civilizations can make mistakes. The room grew quiet. Dr. Kim Tae-ho and Park Min-ji exchanged worried looks. The implications of their research were becoming more serious than they had expected. Ambassador Xylith raised all 4 hands in a gesture of peace. We understand your concerns. Perhaps we were too eager in our research. But you must understand. The efficiency of your planet's predators is unprecedented. The scientific value is enormous. Jae-woo stepped between the 2 groups. I suggest we find a middle ground. We can share our public research data through proper channels. But anything involving detailed toxin analysis or breeding information must remain protected. Sung-min nodded in agreement. We can establish formal research protocols. But first, all unauthorized scanning equipment must be shut down. The aliens discussed among themselves in their own language for a moment. Finally, Ambassador Xylith turned back to the humans. We agree to your terms, the ambassador said. We will follow Earth's protocols for scientific exchange, but we request permission to continue studying the box jellyfish under your supervision. As the 2 groups began discussing the details of a formal research agreement, Lee Do-hyun quietly updated the facility's security systems. The incident had taught them all an important lesson. Earth's deadly creatures were not just scientifically fascinating. They were also potentially dangerous in ways they hadn't considered before. The conference room of the Marine Research Facility was filled with both human and alien representatives. Dr. Han Ji-woo sat at one end of the long table, while Ambassador Xylith sat at the other. The morning sun shone through the large windows, making the aliens' blue skin shimmer slightly. Let us begin with the basic principles, Ji-woo said, placing her tablet on the table. We are willing to share our research about Earth's marine predators, but we need strict controls in place. Choi Sung-min, who had prepared the draft agreement, displayed the first set of rules on the main screen. All research must be conducted in our facilities, under direct human supervision. No specimens or venom samples may leave Earth without special permission. The aliens studied the proposed rules carefully. Scientific Officer Mix raised one of his hands. We accept these basic terms. However, we request permission to bring our own testing equipment after your security team approves it. Dr. Kim Tae-ho nodded. That seems reasonable. We can learn from your advanced technology while maintaining proper safety measures. Park Min-ji, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. I suggest we begin with a joint research project. We can study how the box jellyfish venom affects different types of cells, including samples from your world. This could help both our species develop better medical treatments. The alien's 4 eyes brightened at this suggestion. Ambassador Xylith leaned forward. This is exactly the kind of cooperation we hope to achieve. We can share our knowledge of cellular protection while learning from Earth's extraordinary evolutionary solutions. Lee Do-hyun updated the agreement on his computer. We should also establish regular data sharing meetings. This way, both teams can review findings together and ensure all safety protocols are being followed. The meeting continued as both sides worked out the details. They agreed on security measures, research objectives, and communication protocols. The aliens seemed to understand now that respecting Earth's rules would lead to better scientific cooperation. There is one more thing, Ji-woo said, standing up to address the room. We want to study how the box jellyfish's venom might be affected by different environmental conditions. Climate change is altering our oceans, and we need to understand how these creatures might adapt. The aliens showed great interest in this proposal. Their own worlds had faced similar environmental challenges, and they offered to share their experience in studying ecosystem changes. As the morning turned to afternoon, the final agreement took shape. Both sides had found a way to work together that protected Earth's interests while advancing scientific knowledge. The document they created would serve as a model for future cooperation between Earth and the Galactic Council. This is a historic moment, Ambassador Xylith said as they prepared to sign the agreement. We came looking for impressive predators, but 3 months after the first meeting with the alien visitors, Dr. Han Ji-woo stood in front of a large screen in the Galactic Council's temporary Earth embassy. She was preparing to present their joint research findings to representatives from 50 different alien worlds. Ambassador Xylith stood beside her, looking very different from the dismissive alien who had first visited her laboratory. The ambassador's blue skin now showed a proud glow as they prepared to share what they had learned about Earth's marine predators. The Council has completely revised its definition of what makes a dangerous predator. Xylith announced to the assembled aliens, "Our time studying Earth's box jellyfish has taught us that true power often comes in unexpected forms." Ji-woo stepped forward and brought up the research data on the main display. In just 3 months of working together, we have discovered new aspects of the box jellyfish's hunting abilities that neither of our species knew about before. Dr. Kim Tae-ho and Park Min-ji presented the next section, showing how they had used alien technology to better understand the jellyfish's venom. The audience watched in fascination as 3-dimensional models showed the complex way the toxins work together. What impresses us most, Scientific Officer Mix explained to the gathering, is not just the power of the venom, but how perfectly it has evolved. Earth's oceans have created something our most advanced laboratories could not design. Lee Do-hyun displayed the safety protocols they had developed together. These new rules would help protect both humans and aliens while they studied Earth's dangerous creatures. The Galactic Council had already adopted these guidelines for all future research on deadly species. Choi Sung-min then shared how the collaboration had led to better ways of protecting Earth's marine environments. The aliens had helped them develop new methods to track and study dangerous creatures without disturbing their natural habits. But perhaps the most important thing we learned, Ji-woo said, approaching the end of the presentation, was how 2 different species could work together and learn from each other. We started with fear and doubt, but ended with understanding and respect. Ambassador Xylith stepped forward one last time. The box jellyfish has taught us all an important lesson. We must never judge any creature's capabilities by its size or appearance. Earth's oceans hold wonders that challenge everything we thought we knew about evolution and survival. As the presentation ended, representatives from many alien worlds approached to ask about starting their own research partnerships with Earth. They no longer saw Earth as a simple planet with unremarkable wildlife. Instead, they understood it was a world filled with extraordinary creatures that had evolved in ways they never imagined possible. Jellyfish smiled as she watched aliens and humans talking excitedly about future projects. In her laboratory tank back at the research facility, a box jellyfish continued its graceful dance through the water, unaware that it had changed how an entire galaxy viewed life on Earth. The story of Earth's deadliest hunter had become more than just a scientific discovery. It had opened the door to a new era of cooperation between worlds, all because some aliens had asked to see Earth's apex predators, and a small, nearly invisible jellyfish had shown them what true power really meant.